Jai Shri Shri Guru Gauranga Gandharvika Giridhari Radhika Raman Giriju Ki Jai Ho Radha Damodar Ki Jai Ho Kartik Rak Ki Jai Ho Kartik Devi Jayasri Srimati Radhika Ki Jai Bhishma Panchika Ki Jai
Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Vikhari
Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari
Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Vikhari
Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari
Gopi Janavalabha Girivanadari
Gopi Jana Balava Givanadhari
Gopi Janavalabha Girivanadari Gopi
Jana Balava Givanadhari
Yashodanandana Braja Janaranjana
Yasodanandana Braja Janaranjana
Yashodanandana Braja Janaranjana
Yasodanandana Braja Janaranjana
Yamuna Tira Vanachari
Yamuna Tira Vanachari
Yamuna Tira Vanachari
Yamuna Tira Vanachari
Radha Madhava Kunja Vikhari
Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari
Gopi Janavalabha Girivanadari
Gopi Jana Balava Givanadhari
Gopi Janavalabha Girivanadari
Gopi Jana Balava Givanadhari
Yashodanandana Braja Janaranjana
Yasodanandana Braja Janaranjana
Yashodanandana Braja Janaranjana
Yasodanandana Braja Janaranjana
Yamuna Tira Vanachari
Yamuna Tira Vanachari
Yamuna Tira Vanachari
Yamuna Tira Vanachari
Radha Madhava Kunja Vikhari
Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Om Jnana Timirandasya Jananjana Salakaya Chakshu Militamina Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manopistam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Namo Mahavandhanaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namni Gaura Tavashe Namaha Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare Giving my obeisances, are we starting all over again or?
You gave the obeisance.
Oh, okay. Oh. First of all, let me offer my heartfelt Puspanjali to my Harinam Diksha Guru, Srila Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj, our Srila Prabhupada, my life and soul. Second of it all, to my Bhajan Shiksha Guru, Srila Bhaktivedanta Narayan Goswami Maharaj, our Gurudev, who's bringing me closer to Srila Prabhupada, which is what a Shiksha Guru does, and to Bhakti Vigyan Bharati Goswami Maharaj, and to our entire Guru Parampara. And I especially give thanks to Bhakti Vaibhav Puri Goswami Maharaj because my helpers are coming from him. So, as not last week we talked about Srila Prabhupada, but the week before we started Siksastaka. And there's been a break, so I can't really remember what I said. Don't always have the best of memories. But I wanted to make one thing clear, is that in these classes on Siksastaka, I'm not going to actually follow the book Siksastaka. I'm following the actual slokas. And then quoting from and taking from Bhaktivinoda Thakur's book, Siksastaka, his Bhajan Rahasya, Chaitanya Charitamrita of Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami, and so many classes of Srila Narayan Maharaj like that. So we're just going to, if anyone thought we were going to follow the book Siksastaka, you'll see it's not like that. Like that. Because we followed it before, we were following Madhurya Kadambini quite, in a very systematic way. But now we're just going to follow Siksastaka, which are eight verses spoken by Sriman Mahaprabhu himself. This is amazing mercy. He only spoke 8 verses that had been recorded. Now, he did a lot of speaking. It's not that he didn't speak, but the only verses that we have recorded by him are given to us not first in the Chaitanya Charitamrita. Astonishingly enough, they were written down for the first time in Rupa Goswami's Pajavali. Amazing. Our own Rupa Goswami. We're the Rupanuga Gaudiya Vaishnavas. So he's the first one who revealed to us the Siksastaka. And it was spoken by Mahaprabhu in Jagannath Puri, in the Gambhir, to 2 persons only, Swarup Damodar and Rai Ramananda, his most nearest and dearest intimate friends and associates. In fact, the other personality who was there, Govinda, his personal servant, was not even included in this type of Harikatha and this type of relishing of Srinam and of the slokas of Bhagavatam, the songs of Vidyapati, Chandidas. In fact, he could not even quite understand. He's of a different mood. He was cooking for Mahaprabhu and massaging him and all these personal sevas. So he himself, when Mahaprabhu would be weeping in ecstasy, he was in divine madness, following the moods of Srimati Radhika. This is why he had come. He'd come to taste the moods of Srimati Radhika, right? And then, of course, to give and help save the jivas, the fallen conditioned souls, by giving them the qualification for Raganuga Bhakti, like this through Shrinam, Premanam, like special Nam, not just Premanam, not Vaikuntha Nam, Ayodhya, but Vrajnam, and Nam coming from the topmost part of Braj, Madhurya Ras. That's Unnat Ujjala Rasa Swa Bhakti. No, how's it go? Swa Bhakti Shriham. Like this. In Swa Bhakti Shriham, this is the beauty of the Manjaris, the maidservants of Srimati Radhika, the moods that are in their hearts. This is what he came to give. It hadn't been given in a long time since he had come before. Long, long time. So he comes as Guru. He is Krishna. He's Krishna. But he's coming as a devotee to taste and to give. So he gave to Swarup Damodar and Rai Ramananda. Swarup Damodar, in turn, gave to Raghunath Das Goswami. And both Swarup Damodar and Raghunath Das Goswami, they made notes. And from these notes, Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami, this is where his Chaitanya Charitamrita comes. Now, how exactly Rupa Goswami got them, we'll just have to hope that will be revealed in our hearts one day. But he was in Puri also, once he went to Puri, but he also met with Mahaprabhu in Prayag. And also, he is the nearest and dearest of Mahaprabhu. As Srila Bhakti Vigyan Bharati Goswami Maharaj was saying, he gives an example. I also spoke this last week in relation to Prabhupada. It's so beautiful, though. He spoke it in regards to Rupa Goswami. There's a beautiful sloka by Kavi Karnapur. Priya Swarupi, Daita Swarupi, Prema Swarupi, Sahajani Rupi, Nijana Rupi, Prabhu Eka Rupi, Tantata Rupi, Swavilas Rupi. And he's talking about Priya Swarupi. Daita is even more dear than Priya. The most dear Daita Swarupi. And Prema Swarupi. So what kind of person is Rupa Goswami? Rupa Goswami is... And the example of Bhakti Vigan Bharti Maharaj Goswami is so beautiful. I'm sitting in my room here. Someone knocks at my door. And I go to the door, and it's somebody I don't know so well, right? It's okay. So I talk to them. I'm not quite sure. So we just talk at the door, and then they go away. Then someone else comes to the door, knocks on the door, and somebody I knew, yeah, okay, come in. And as a Vaishnava, we give him a place to sit, give him some water, talk some nice words. Then there's another friend knocked at the door. And doesn't even bother to knock, actually, just comes in, right? So, and just sits lays on the bed, goes in the fridge, could take anything. Dear and near and dear. But there's someone even closer than that. This is Rupa Goswami, and this is so beautiful. This person doesn't bother to knock. This person comes in, takes everything from the fridge, and freely, if he wants, gives everything away. And you don't mind. It's perfectly fine. This is Rupa Goswami. He entered the heart of Mahaprabhu. And he went into his treasury, into those treasure boxes, and he opened them up, and he got all the treasures, all the jewels in Mahaprabhu's heart. And he gave them to the world. And he asked all of his followers to give them to the world. This is our Rupa Goswami, so near and distant, the nearest and dearest. Chaitanya Rupa, Chaitanya Rupe, they say like that. It's the form of Mahaprabhu, but also Rupa Goswami. He is the form of Mahaprabhu, really. Because who is he? And who is Mahaprabhu? Mahaprabhu is Krishna in the mood of Srimati Radhika. And Srimati Radhika has come also as Gadadhar Pandit, playing another role, you see. And Sri Rupa has come with them. And Sri Rupa, as we all know, is the maidservant, the closest, nearest, the group leader of all the maidservants of Srimati Radhika. No one knows the moods of Srimati Radhika more than Rupa Manjari and her other associates. No one. Because only they are allowed in the most intimate pastimes of Radha and Krishna. So who else could know? They aren't, in the hierarchy, Lalita and Vishaka are more superior, even in Manjari like this. But the most near and dear are the Manjaris. So Mahaprabhu has brought Vrindavan with him. Krishna has come, but he's left the Jamuna and come by the saltwater ocean. Of course, first he was at the Ganga, then he went to the saltwater ocean, and he is absorbed in experiencing what he wanted to experience, which is those astonishing moods of Srimati Radha's prem, her topmost Madanaki Mahabhav, and the ecstasies that she felt. We read in the Chaitanya Charitamrita that sometimes Mahaprabhu, when he was tasting this kind of nectar, and it was when Swarbdhamana and Rai Ramananda were singing the songs from Srimad Bhagavatam, from Brahma Samhita sometimes, from Bilvamangala Thakur's Kavi, how do you say? Krishna Karnamrita, the songs of Chandidas, Vidyapati, they all appeared before Mahaprabhu, and Jayadev Goswami's Gita Govinda. These are very, very high-level Madhurya Ras kirtans. High, high, high. They're not meant for us particularly. This is for Mahaprabhu. This is for him. He was tasting. In another way, we taste the songs of Rupa Goswami, Sanatana Goswami. I mean, we can, but really for us, the moods of Rupa Goswami and his associates, this is what we're aspiring for. We're not aspiring to taste like Srimati Radhika. So this Rupa Goswami, he in his Pajavali, it's interesting because when he wrote actually down the Siksastaka, he did not write them in order, and they aren't together. It's very beautiful. I went through, and the first song is in verse 22 of the Pajavali. Because see, in the Pajavali it's done by topics, like this. I didn't look up yet which topic that is, but anyhow, verse number 1 is verse 22. Verse 2 is verse 31. Verse 3 is verse 32. Verse 4 is verse 95. Then verse 5 is verse 71. And then verse 6 goes to 94. So it's even like this, not in order. Verse 7 is text 328, and verse 8 is text 341, because they're by topics. All the different moods of Srimati Radhika like this, according to topics. So we're ever grateful to Rupa Goswami and to Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami for giving him to the world, fulfilling that inner heart's desire of Mahaprabhu. So when Mahaprabhu was actually listening to the songs sung by Swarup Damodar and Rai Ramananda, one night he started singing his own verses. And first of all, he explained, this is in the Chaitanya Charitamrita, that this chanting of the holy name, he didn't start with his own verse. He first quoted, I'm not so good at verses, so I'll just have to. He first quoted the famous verse from the 11th canto of the Bhagavatam, that Nam Sankirtan is the only means, really, in the Kali Yuga to worship Krishna, who is not Sham color, he's Gaur. And he's come. He's always saying the names Krishna, Krishna, and he's come with all of his associates. The verse is Krishna Varnam Tusha Krishnam Sango Pangastra Parsadam Yagnaya Sankirtana Prayer Yajantihi Sumeda Saha. And it's spoken by one saint called Karabhajana. It's spoken in the 11th canto. I didn't have time to look up exactly what the pastime is. Do you remember who he's talking to? I don't remember here. Anyhow, he says, in the age of Kali, intelligent persons, but not just intelligent, Mahaprabhu explains, because Mahaprabhu gives his own purport. Not just intelligent persons, fortunate. Only those who are very, very fortunate. These persons perform congregational chanting to worship the incarnation of Godhead, who constantly sings the name of Krishna. Although his complexion is not blackish, he is Krishna himself. He is accompanied by his associates, servants, weapons, and confidential companions. And this is called the Sankirtan Jagya, the sacrifice for the age. We hear about, in other ages, they had the horse sacrifices, they had all these different kinds of sacrifices. But for us, in Kali Yuga, the sacrifice. Give up everything. See, sacrifice means you sacrifice something, right? Some of them, they were sacrificing horses. They bring them back to life, or they were doing so many things, you know. And actually, for us in Kali Yuga, it's not possible. For one thing, we'd get bored out of our mind. I mean, can you imagine sitting through, hours and hours of these Haribol? No, no, that wouldn't be possible for us. We're too short-lived. Our memories are short. We only want sense gratification. We just, but Krishna himself has come and given the sacrifices for us, chanting the holy names. Harinam, Mangalam, Mangalam, Harinam, Harinam, Sankirtan. And it's supposed to be joyously performed, joyous, happy, singing, dancing. That's not boring. It's very lively, huh? This is what Prabhupada brought. That's how Prabhupada conquered the world, by the mercy of Mahaprabhu. He took the holy name all over the world. And he was just singing and dancing, and what else? Mahaprasad. Conquers the world. And is fulfilling the desire of Mahaprabhu, who in the Chaitanya Charitamrita said, he and Nitai, my name will be chanted in every town and village. Why? Because Mahaprabhu is Karuna Avatar. He's the incarnation of mercy. Why? Because Radharani is Karuna Mai. She's made of mercy. She has so many qualities, but at this time, when we're speaking now, we're thinking about and talking about her Karuna Mai aspect, her aspect of being so, so merciful. Her heart is paining for the conditioned souls. In one of Rupa Goswami's slokas in his Ukalika Valari, Rupa Goswami himself, as Rupa Manjari, is praying to them for their mercy, the mercy of Jugal Kishore. But it's coming first from Radharani to Krishna. And he's saying, your hearts are flooded with this mercy, this nectar. Your hearts are just flooded with it. So I'm just praying that you'll shower this mercy on me so that I will one day get one drop of real rati, real bhav for you, so that I can attain your audience, your darshan, and your seva. And then it's explained in the purport by Srila Baladev Vidyabhushan Prabhu that the quality that he's speaking about that is attractive is, how could one not be attracted by your sweet, sweet qualities? Anyone would be attracted. So, of course, me, and he's so humble in that he's saying, I'm such a lowly maidservant. I'm such a lowly maidservant. How can I possibly get this service? He's the leader of all the maidservants. This is the humility of one who actually has prem. Prem means you have humility. You think you're the lowest of the low. So Rupa Goswami is praying. And Srila Baladev Vidyabhushan Prabhu, he explains that the quality that's being mentioned here is their desire and their quality of saving the fallen conditioned souls. That is Bhakta Vatsalya, because actually all souls are their bhaktas. They want all their souls to come back and serve them. This is what they want. This is Krishna's desire. And I just sent out a quote today to so many persons that Prabhupada's explaining that Krishna, he wants us back. So it's our business. Our business is to let Krishna make that happen. Because see, we have our independence and free will. So that's why he's brought the holy name. That's why he's sent all of his devotees to help us go back. Because he wants us back. As conditioned souls, we don't want to go back. We don't even know about Krishna. We don't even know about what real happiness is. We have no clue. We're Tatastha Shakti. And see, this is an amazing pastime. It's explained in Bhaktivinoda Thakur's Siksastaka. I think it's in that one. It's either that or it's in Nishant Leela in, what is it? The Nectar of Govinda Leela. That the jivas, we're conditioned souls. We come from Balaram, right? Balaram. And there's some that come in Braj and they're eternally liberated. Some come in Dwarka, they're eternally liberated. But those of us coming from Tatastha and Karana Vishnu, we are, Tatastha means we can either go towards Krishna or we can go towards Maya. And it's unexplainable. And why? Because it's actually part of a Leela. It's part of Krishna's Leela. We're components of this Leela. And why? It's explained in Jaiva Dharma, because he likes to save the fallen conditioned souls. We know that. And how does he do that? By his mercy, by bringing Sri Nam and sending Sri Vaishnavas, Sri Guru, to give Sri Nam. Because if Nam comes just any old way, and if it's just common Nam, this does not have the power to remove the ignorance that we're covered with. We are covered with ignorance. Now, it's impossible for us to be covered by ignorance because we're Satchidanandan. We're actually jivas. We're actually spiritual. But for the pastime of creation, Shrishti Leela of Krishna, Yogamaya, the Gatana Patiyasi, Yogamaya potency, she, with her Achincha Shakti, has made the impossible possible for the pleasure of Krishna. So, here we are. We're in total ignorance. We don't know who Krishna is. We don't know about the spiritual world. Especially if you're born outside of Bharat Varsh. In Bharat Varsh, there's more truth. There's more vidya. But not outside. So Lord Chaitanya's come to... But even in Bharat Varsh, in Kali Yuga, Srimad Bhagavatam says everyone's born lower than a Sudra, actually. Everyone. And we can see that. I mean, there's some pure devotees, but basically. So Mahaprabhu has come to clear that ignorance. And how does that ignorance get cleared? Sri Nam. But the Nam has to be Shabda Brahm. Shabda Brahm means descending from the spiritual world. It cannot be material name. Like there's so many so-called yogis, bogey yogis, and this and that persons. They're asking persons to chant Hare Krishna. But as Prabhupada said, before he came to the West, no devotees of Krishna were made by their Bhagavad Gitas, by their chanting mantras. None. It's true. There were no devotees of Krishna appeared until Prabhupada came, because he was bringing Shabda Brahm. He was bringing the pure, he was descending from the spiritual world himself, and with him he brought Golokera Premanam, like this. And especially the Nam that's deep in the heart of Rupa Manjari, Rupa Goswami, like this. He was bringing this. So this Nam, when coming from this kind of Sri Guru, it can actually destroy all of our ignorance very quickly. Very quickly. Now for us it may seem it's a long time. But if we understand we've been here unlimited lifetimes, one lifetime is not so long. Even 2 lifetimes, not so long. In the wake of the fact that we've been here for so long. So, Mahaprabhu is just saying, actually it wasn't Mahaprabhu, it was Mahaprabhu's guru. Mahaprabhu went to his guru, Ishwar Puri, and said, what should I do? And he said, study Vedanta. Mahaprabhu says, I can't. I cannot study Vedanta. So his guru said, chant Harinam. Harinam, 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 Eva Kevala. Kalo Anasteva, 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 get to you. So he started chanting. And this is his pastime of how he brought the holy name. Through Guru. Through Guru. Through Satguru. Ishwara Puripad, the disciple of Madhavendra Puripad, the great Madhavendra Puripad. So this is descending Nam, right? Like this. And he showered the world. That's a Madhurya Kadamini. Showers of Madhurya through Premanam. Through Satguru and Sat Vaishnavas. Guru and the Vaishnavas. And by this Nam, then avidya can be destroyed. And in the Siksastaka, that's the 4th part, Vijavadu Jivanam, it's mentioned how Vidya will awaken with us by the chanting of the holy name. There's 7 results of, excellent results of chanting the holy name. That's in the sloka, Cheto Darpanam Marjanam, there's this one. Bhava Mahadavagni Nirapanam, 2. Shekarava Chandra Kavataram, 3. Vijavadu Jivanam, 4. Where's it go? Ananda Buddhi Vardhanam, what's that, 5? 6 is, my brain's a little bit slow today. I'm not used to doing it in pieces. Pratipadam Purnamritas Vardhanam, that's 6, right? And 7 is Sarvatma Snapanam Param Vijayate Sri Krishna Sankirtan. But actually there's 8 slokas. So the 8th, after these 7 excellent results, what happens? Prem. That's the 8th. One attains prem. Srila Gurudev was saying that in one of his classes. The final result is you attain prem by this result. So the first part, Cheto Darpana Marjan, cleansing the mirror of the heart. The heart is like a mirror. A mirror is actually fine, unless it's broken. Unless we have a broken heart. But it's fine, but it gets covered with dust. But Srila Bharati Maharaj, when he was here during Kartik some years ago, he gave a wonderful example. He said, some hearts are just covered by a little thin dust. You can take a dry cloth and just, right? But some have more like mud on it, Then you're going to probably have to have a wet cloth, and it's going to take a little water, And then other ones are even more. Maybe there's some wood there or something. Then you got to have a saw or something, And then something like iron. Then you need a thunderbolt or dynamite, So it depends on our condition, how covered our mirror is, and how much mercy we're going to need. Some, even their hearts are very clean because they haven't committed offenses. We learned that in the Madhurya Kadamini, that those who haven't committed offenses, as soon as they start chanting, praying. In the time of Mahaprabhu, that was very common when Mahaprabhu was here. He even got the tigers and the elephants and everyone to dance and get praying. This is Mahaprabhu, this is Krishna, And they weren't offensive. But for us, we can judge. If we're chanting Hare Krishna and tears are coming, the asasapika, is our hair standing on end? Do we feel like rolling on the ground and crying? We're almost faint? No. I mean, not me, No. So obviously there's mud, there's wood, or there's iron there. But the holy name has the power. Because why? The name is non-different than Radha and Krishna. And Krishna, he is so powerful. He created the whole, he is energy. Not even he himself, his energy created the whole material manifestation. What to speak of the spiritual world. It's the supreme personality of Godhead, Krishna. But who's more powerful than him? Srimati Radhika keeps him under control. You see? So there is no one more powerful than Radha and Krishna. So the holy name, Radha and Krishna have mercifully descended as the holy name. Like this. Mercifully. This is their supreme... Because as they come themselves, which they do, they've come, Prakat Leela, as in one universe after another. But those who are envious, they cannot pick up the mercy. Not possible. Too envious. They can't even recognize Krishna as a Supreme Personality of God. They don't even get to meet Radharani. She's very secret in Vrindavan. So, not possible. One has to become qualified first before one can actually experience the holy name as it is, as who they really are. Hare, Srimati Radhika. Krishna, Hare. How is this Radharani? It's for Hara, meaning she steals away Krishna, steals his mind with how? The playing of her veena, her singing, just the tinkling of her ankle bells. He forgets everything, completely forgets everything, and he comes running. And he falls at her feet if he's done something wrong. Or he just starts playing his... This is Srimati Radhika. Ladini Shakti, topmost powerful. She's mercifully come, and she's mercifully inspired Krishna to come in her moods and to chant Krishna, Krishna, Radhe, Radhe, Hare, Hare, like this. And she's standing there as Gadadhar Pandit and seeing if he's doing okay, like this. So these powerful holy names, there's 16 names, 8 pairs. So the first, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. So Bhaktivinoda Thakur has made a structure, actually, to go deeper and deeper and deeper into the Siksastaka. And the Siksastaka has been explained to be what's the famous Siddha Pranali. I don't know if you've heard of Siddha Pranali. Siddha Pranali means, perfection is Siddha. Siddha is perfection. Pranali means method. Method. How are we going to get perfection? Now, nowadays, and also before in Bhaktivinoda Thakur's time, and actually for a long time, there's been many personalities, we call them Sahajiyas, but they have other names too, Apa Sampradayas, who easily are giving what they call Siddha Pranali. The method for, you just go, especially to Radhakund or someplace, and you pay a little money, and they tell you exactly who you are. You are so-and-so Manjari, or you're so-and-so this and that, and you just chant whatever they want you to chant. Some chant Hare Krishna, I think. I don't really know much about it. And some chant many things. And you're going to get perfect. But it doesn't work like that. It doesn't work like that. Like this. Siddha Pranali means that when you chant the holy name, and you gradually go through the process, Cheto Darpada Marjam, Bhava Mahadavagni, under proper guidance, Sat Gurus, Sat Vaishnavas, only they have the power to clean the dirt away all of our past sinful activities, all the reactions, all the karma, for all that we've done in this lifetime plus past lives, they have the power to clear all those anartas. We don't have. I've been trying for 50 years. I can't. There's nothing. I can only try and surrender to my guru, Srila Prabhupada. And Srila Prabhupada, if he's pleased with me, he will clear. He can clear it just like that. And we've talked about this many times, the power of Mahat Sangha. They can just look at you. They can just place their hand on your head, or they can have you go through a process that's longer. It's up to them. But the process for getting purified is Guru Seva and pleasing Sri Guru. Like this, and the Vaishnavas. There's no other way. And it has to be someone who's giving the name, this was explained by Srila Gurudev, that has perfection already in it. It can't be a name that doesn't have perfection in it. Because if the person isn't perfected, their name doesn't have perfection in that seed that they give you when they give you Harinam and Diksha. Perfection is there. And we have the potential for perfection. You know, we've talked about this so many times. The seed of the banyan tree has the whole banyan tree in it. So we have that potential. But we're waiting for that rain to come. Or like if for a child, you have to have the mother and the father. The father gives the seed, the mother has the potential, and then you get a child. It's quite simple. So for our bhakti to manifest, we have that potential, but the guru gives the seed. And then the potential manifests. And for some it may go quickly. For some it may go slowly. We've talked about in the Madhurya Kadamini all the stages of bhakti. So in this first Chaito Darpana Marjanam, in the first verse of Siksastaka, what is being spoken about is Shraddha. This is the first manifestation of bhakti, of our potential, is Shraddha, which we've talked about before. Shraddha means, and this is what the Guru gives, Krishna Seva Vasanam, the desire to serve Krishna. And at this point, this is when the ignorance starts to go. And this is when, the very last of Chaito Darpana, you have Param Vijayate Sri Krishna Sankirtanam. That means all victory to Sri Krishna Sankirtanam. How can it be victorious in the material world? How is it possible? This is how it's possible. Descending holy name, descending Shabda Brahm. And the jiva, somehow by sadhu sangha, faith is awakened in their heart by that seed coming from the pure devotee. Like this. So then the avidya is ignorance. We have vidya as truth, reality, avidya is ignorance. So the avidya is cleaned and cleansed when the jiva, out of faith, gets a desire to serve Krishna and starts serving Krishna by Harinam Sankirtan. This is the method Mahaprabhu wants. You can try so many things you want. You can just do deity worship if you like. But if it's not with Harinam Sankirtan, Mahaprabhu's not pleased. Everything has to be accompanied with Harinam Sankirtan. That is what he says. Harinam, 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 Harinam. And then, it's not that we can cleanse the mirror of our heart, but then Sri Guru and the Vaishnavas, they cleanse the heart very easily. It's not difficult for them. If you think about who they are, Krishna, he created the whole material cosmos. It's certainly not hard for him to cleanse one little heart. But if you don't please him, he won't do it. You see, he'll let you suffer. If you want to suffer and you don't want to follow my instructions, okay. Because prema is our object. We may not know it, but prema is our object, right? Prema means what? It means love. Love can't be demanded. Love can't be forced. Then it's something else. Love means you just love someone. It's just spontaneous. There's really no reason in ones except they're so wonderful. You just love them, or they've done something so wonderful, and you're so grateful, and like this. It's a free, flowing, very beautiful relationship between two persons, isn't it? And nothing can break that. That's prema. Prema means it cannot be broken, even if there's some reason for it to be broken. Because as we see in the Leelas of Radha and Krishna, many times Krishna does things and Radha, the prema should break, but it will never break. Because as we learn in the last verse of Siksastaka, Radharani said, you're my Lord no matter what you do. No matter what you do, you are my Lord. You are mine, mine, mine. This is praying, and this is what we're striving for. And it will begin for us when we take up the instructions that Mahaprabhu has brought, simple, with our free will, with our independence. I'm willing to surrender. See, we've heard, service, seva vasa, that's the essence of a Shraddha. And what comes with it? Surrender. You give up your free will and your independence. But for us conditioned souls, especially Westerners, that sounds horrible. Even Bhakti Rakshak Sridhar Maharaj, he goes, you have to become a slave. Oh my God, that has the worst connotations for us. Slave? Oh no. That's we have some really horrible conceptions of slave, surrender, servant. This is not something that sounds very attractive to us. But actually it's very attractive. It means that we aren't going to suffer anymore. What does surrender actually mean? When you become the servant of the right person, of the most beautiful, wonderful, richest, funniest, the most sweetest person in the creation, Krishna. Radha and Krishna, she's even more. What happens? They automatically, if you serve them, they maintain you. You don't have to worry about anything. You're just serving, they maintain you. They protect you. They give you all information on what's favorable and what's unfavorable. Everything they give. You just serve. And you serve with, at least at first, you serve out of duty. This is what they call Vaidhi Bhakti, out of duty. Following their rules and regulations freely. You see, like this. I've decided I am going to do it. So then love can come. Not that, no, I really, no, it has to be, yes, I freely am going to do this. I'm going to use my independence and give it to you, and I'm going to serve you. And we become very humble. We understand we're completely dependent on their mercy, and we have no desire but to make them happy. This is the beginning of the process of attaining love and affection, prem. It starts down here in Shraddha. Because see, Shraddha actually has all the components of prem. It's like that seed. It's like the seed of the banyan tree. It has everything. That prem is made up of sneha, man, pranaya, rag, anurag, upper level bhav, mahabhav, ruda, adiruda, modan, mohan, madanaki, mahabhav. This is all very technical. And so, and the madanaki, mahabhav, the topmost prem is Srimati Radhika. But this Shraddha, where we're starting way down here with seed in our heart, the blueprint, is there in the seed. You see? This Shraddha is the last, how do you call it? The last, what's the word? Limit's one way to say it. But if you have this and you have this, the last limit or the last manifestation maybe. Manifestation? I don't know the right word to use for it, but if you don't have Shraddha, there's nothing. You see, but if you have Shraddha, then you have the actual potential to attain this, because it's all there. All the components are there, but they're not manifest. They're not ripe. It's like when you have an unripe, you might even have just the mango tree. Then you get, as we see here, you get the leaves, then you get the buds, then you get the flowers, then you get the fruit. But still in that seed, it's all there in that seed. And if we water it with hearing and chanting, we will get the fruit of prem. And our mirror of our heart will get cleansed, like this. So, if we're fortunate, if we're intelligent, and we hear the Hari Katha, this is part of the cleansing part of it. We chant Hare Krishna, coming from the pure devotee, and we hear his Hari Katha. This is part of the watering process. We have to hear Shravanam, Kirtanam, Smaranam. We hear, We chant and we remember. Like this. Then the sprout is coming. It's starting to come. Like this. And the more we have serious, we're more serious. And we depend on Guru and Krishna. And we try and be very sincere. Then Guru and Krishna will do everything. When we realize we really can't do anything. You know, this is, at first, we have the ego of, oh yes, like I can chant. In fact, I'm very good at chanting. I chant, sir, did you know I chant 1 lakh? Ma'am, did you know I chant 1 lakh? Well, one of our acharyas, he says, well, check, have you really chanted at all? The first chanting, all your sins are nullified. The second chanting, you actually meet Krishna. The third chanting, you have his darshan and you get prem. Have you actually chanted? You see, like this. Because the Goswamis, this is Rupa Goswami, Sanatana Goswami, this is Rupa Manjari, Labanga Manjari. When they were here in Braj, they had come with Mahaprabhu. They were come to give. They're the example. They're examples of Bhav, Raganuka Bhaktas, you know, high level. Although their chanting is prem. They would chant Hare, Krishna. That was it. That was it. They were then in their internal, in their as Rupa Manjari, doing their prem seva to Jugal Kishore. That's the chanting that's the goal of our life. Not I can chant 1 lakh, 2 lakhs, 3 lakhs, but I still, oh boy, I wish I could smoke a cigarette. Oh my gosh, I'm missing my pizzas. Or, oh gosh, you know, it's too hot in Vrindavan. Oh gosh, I got to go back to Switzerland, you know, where it's cool. Whatever, you know. Let's be honest. We're still full of material attachments. So many material attachments. But we just be honest. We just be honest. Okay, Krishna, I'm trying. Even I may be trying a lakh, but obviously it's not much quality there because I still want to do so many things that maybe you don't want me to do, that I want to do, that's separate interest from you. So I'm so sorry, you know, I just can't seem to give it up. Please help me. It's this humility, this honesty. This is what will take us to the next part. Chaito Darpana Bhava Mahada. This will carry us through the process. The honesty of understanding how insignificant we are, how much we're dependent on the mercy of Guru, Vaishnavas, and Krishna. Krishna, especially in the form of Mahaprabhu, he's called Karuna Avatar, the avatar of mercy. And who else he came with? Nitai. Nitai. We need the mercy of Nityananda Prabhu, Akhanda Guru Tattva, isn't it? So we should beg and beg, Nitai, Nitai. In that song, Gauranga Bolite Helbe, isn't it? Nitai, when, oh when will I receive your mercy? When will you clean my heart? When will my heart become purified so that then I will be able to go to Braj, to Vrindavan? You know? Only then. Because I can come to Vrindavan like now, isn't it? But have I really met? Because what happens when you have a purified heart and you come to Vrindavan? You meet Rupa Goswami and Sanatana Goswami, Raghunath Das Goswami. Because they're not dead. They may have samadhis over here. That's for us conditioned souls. But for those who have higher level bhakti, they meet Rupa and Sanatana Goswami when they come here. Srila Prabhupada, he was meeting, when he was at Radha Damodar, he was meeting Rupa Goswami, Jiva Goswami. You know? He wasn't just sweeping their samadhis, he was meeting them, having association. So this is what we want, to really come to Vrindavan. So to be able to do that, we have to get this mercy of Nitai, of Shri Guru. And we have to follow his instruction to chant, 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 chant. And we should try to chant with some quality. Now, sometimes it's impossible for us. We just can't. We're too busy, we're too this, or even like we learned in Madhurya Kadamini, even there's no obstacles, we just don't want to. That's one of the 6 stages of Anishtita Bhakta. I forgot what the name of it is, but anyhow, it's one, there's no problems, but we just don't feel like chanting. Hare Krishna. So we have to pray. Pray. Please, please, Gurudev, please, Nitai, remove my anartas. What are the anartas? The 4 illusions. We won't get into those right. There's 4 illusions, the 4 weaknesses of heart, the 4 material desires, and the 4 kinds of offenses, all anartas. Please, please, this is like the iron wall around us that we're in Vrindavan, like we're in Vrindavan, or you are trying to make Vrindavan, those of you who are overseas. But are we in Vrindavan? Have we seen the Jamuna? Have we seen Govardhan? Have we seen Rupa Goswami? What to speak of Radha and Krishna? No. So, and then after that, we need to have the 6 waves removed, the 6 enemies removed, the 6 stages of Anishtita Bhakti, the 5 persistent obstacles. We got an iron box around us. So, once that's removed by the mercy of Sri Guru. See? So the process is Harinam, 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 Evike below. This is very, very important. So, Cheto Darpanam Marjanam. So this will establish all of our sinful reactions. If we can chant, they will all be annihilated, eradicated, anartas. And if you read Srimad Bhagavatam, as Prabhupada said, if you really knew how fallen you were, you'd faint. You would so much faint. Because in Srimad Bhagavatam, I think it was the 5th canto, or was it the 4th canto, the Forest of Material Enjoyment? Maybe it was the 5th canto, I can't remember. Anyhow, and you understand that our minds, because we have the same mind that we've had since we entered the material world. We get a new material body so often, but our subtle body is the same. And the subtle mind has a stockpile, unlimited stockpile of all our past impressions. Can you imagine all that karma? I mean, it's like you can't even imagine. That's a lot. Krishna, one Hare Krishna, if we do it very sincerely, they can be gone. Even Namabas, just a shadow of chanting. All that can go, But then we have to stop our bad habits. So this is why it takes a little longer for us, because we have bad habits. And so all we can do at that point is become very humble and fall at the feet of Sri Guru and the Vaishnavas, fall at the feet of Sri Dham, Mayapur, Navadvip, Vrindavan, Jamuna, Giriraj, because they're all personalities, they're all Guru and Vaishnavas too. You see, especially Navadvip and all the inhabitants, Ganga Devi, please, please help me. Because it's so hard. I know I have some habits, it's like, wow. It's just like they just, especially with a mind or something, like this. It's some bad habits. So please, 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 I can't control my mind. You please control my mind. Please, I want to serve. I want my potential. I want to become the maidservant of Srimati Radhika. I know it's impossible, but the impossible already happened. I, a jiva, Satchidananda, became covered by Maya because of the Achincha Shakti you have. So your Achincha Shakti can also get me out of here. If you can get me here, you can get me out of here. I can't, but you can get me. Purnamasi Yoga Maya. We need to take shelter of Purnamasi Yoga Maya. She will help us. She will help us. So like this, we take shelter of her, and it can easily be done. But there's a few steps along the way. So today we talked a little bit about Cheto Darpana Marjanam, and we'll go on as the days go on. We'll go slowly through the Siksastaka because it's so important. And So I think we'll stop here. Okay. Vanchakalpatarubhascha kripa sindhu vivacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha.
Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda
Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Dasari Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. This is a day. Okay, so actually I realized there was one more thing I wanted to add, is that when Bhaktivinoda Thakur is giving his structure for Siksastaka, he had the pairs of the holy name, Hare Krishna, like this. He had the stages of bhakti, Shraddha, Sadhu Sangha, like this. He has the actual shlokas, breakdown, Chaito, Dharpana Marjanam, then Bhava Mahadevardhani, like this. But he has one more really amazing parts of his structure, or his in-depth study of Siksastaka. And that is Astakaliya Lila of Radha and Krishna. So this first verse, Chaito Dharpana Marjan, is Nishant Lila. That's a Lila that's from about 3:30 in the morning to about 6:30 in the morning. This is when Radha and Krishna, they have been together all night, having a Rasa Lila and many pastimes, and they fall asleep on the banks of the Jamuna and a Kunj, and they're waking up. And all the birds are singing, and the parrots, coo-hoo-hoo, and the peacocks, keka, and so sweet. And of course it's been night, and the morning is coming. So he compares this to the darkness of ignorance and the beginning of light, of knowledge. Avidya to vidya, like this. Nishant Lila is the awakening of the beautiful daybreak of, no more misery. Let's just put it real sweet. From sadness, misery, to happiness, spiritual happiness. This is Nishant Lila. For us, the sadhaks. Now for those who are in higher level bhav, which to speak of praying, at this time of day, this particular part of the shloka, they're immediately actually thinking of Radha and Krishna and their Leelas, and they're actually, as Rupa Goswami, we say he's Rupa Manjari, he's engaging in his seva, in his spiritually perfected body, in his body as a Manjari. He's actually serving Radha and Krishna when he's chanting Hare Krishna, like this. So this first verse, Chaito Dharpana Bhava, this is Nishant Lila, the awakening of auspiciousness, all auspiciousness. And the K-Ka, the parrots, there's the female parrots, and, not parrots, the peacocks. The peacocks are in the Kadamba trees. This is explained in, I think it's Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami's Govinda Lila. So the parrots there in the, I'm not parrots.
Peacocks.
I'm a little tired. Didn't get much sleep last night. The peacocks are in the Kadamba trees. K-Ka. This is Sundari, Tundika, and Tandavika. What does K-Ka mean? K is for Krishna. Who but Krishna can lift the mountain-like pride of Srimati Radhika, her mom? Ka, Srimati Radhika. Who can tie down that mad elephant, Krishna, Radhika? K-Ka. So they're just singing in the morning, K, because they're glorifying the divine couple, like this. And the parrots, they're singing their songs. The female and the male parrots, Subha, Shukshmati, Daksha, Vichakshana. Some are in golden cages, some are in the pomegranate trees. It says the male parrots are in the pomegranate trees, the female parrots are in the grapevines. And they're just singing away, and there's so many songs. Oh, wake up, you must run. If you don't run, then all the elders will wake up and they'll say, now so much shame will come, you have to go. Parrots are singing. And oh, you have the bumblebees, they're in the creepers, they're in the it says they're like, the bumblebees are like Cupid's conch shell, and his consort Rati's like her cartels, like this. And then you have the roosters are even there. And they're, I don't know how to make the rooster sound. Whatever it is, I've heard roosters way back then. And anyhow, what happens? Oh, she might be running because she wakes up a little bit and she hears this. She says, oh, go coo in hell. Just go coo in hell. And so the poor parrot rooster's like this. And so she thinks, oh, good, he went to hell. It's just so sweet. He's really still there. And then you have the monkeys, Kakadi and Daddy Loma. They're up in one of the trees. And just at the right time, because they've waited too long, it's just getting too late. Vrindadevi is in charge of all the living entities, the trees, the flowers, the birds, the bees, everyone. So she signals to Kakadi. And what does she say? Oh, but it's in Sanskrit, and so it has two meanings. Jatila is coming. It really means the sun is rising and the redness of the sun is coming. The sunrise is red many times. But in Sanskrit, the word is Jatila, which is the mother-in-law of Radharani. So, of course, they all get really scared. And then, okay, time to go. And boo, we got to go. You know what I mean? So this is Nishant Leela. So when one becomes more purified, and when one's mind, like, let's say if we're starting to prematurely meditate too deeply on Radha Krishna's pastimes, like Prabhupada gave us the Krishna book. So if we don't go deep like the Krishna book, Prabhupada gave it to us perfectly. Even before I was a devotee, I read Krishna book. And there was absolutely no problem. But if one is reading very high level things, and one is going, and then if any lust comes, or any thought that isn't appropriate, what do? We close the book. We take our mind out of there, and we put it back on Shraddha, time thinking about, the practice of bhakti, and this is a time of purification for me, and we don't think about the Leela. Because we have to be very, very careful with Radha and Krishna Leela. It's completely pure and sublime. And if we don't do that, we will turn into materialistic devotees called sahajas, taking it very cheaply, and we will be lost for many lifetimes. You see, like this, we have to be very, very careful. But like what I've just said, really less is not going to come if you're thinking about the parrots and the peacocks and, like this. What to speak of, in the Jamuna, there's many crocodiles they can stick them. You know what I mean? Everyone's, the butterflies are there, and the flowers, and the most fragrant flower. You know what is said in Bhagavatam by Srila Vishnu Chakravarti Thakur, the most fragrant flower is not the lotus, which is sometimes said to be most fragrant. The most fragrant is Tulsi. Tulsi is the most fragrant, and really only Krishna can completely enjoy that, and also the pure devotees, but not as much as Krishna. So somehow or other she's so fragrant, especially early in the morning. Like this. So we can meditate like this time. And also in the morning, Gaur Leela. He has Nishant Leela too. He's waking up in the courtyard of Srivas Pandit. They've had Harinam Sankirtan all night. They've been singing and dancing all night. They took rest in the courtyard, in a flower garden, in the courtyard of virtuous Srivas Pandit. And he's being woken up in the morning also by the sweetly singing birds. And when he wakes up, he immediately remembers himself as Radha and Krishna. And he's remembering, he has all kinds of transcendental moods come, and tears are coming from his eyes, and like this. And they're singing very soft kirtan, and eventually they go home. We can meditate like that, and all of his associates are with him. And because he's crying, it says his crying is like fountains. Mahaprabhu's crying is like fountains, and it bathes his whole body, and it showers all of his associates, filling them with chamatkar, which is astonishment, and Paramananda, supreme happiness, like this. And at that time, he also showers the whole world, meaning us. We get mercy too, like this. And he makes us drink all this nectar, actually, of his luster and all like this. And this clears away the ignorance, and the prema is coming, and so our bhakti is starting to mature and come by the mercy of Mahaprabhu. Beautiful. So there's so much here. And in the morning, when you wake up, hopefully you don't wake up at 10 o'clock in the morning, unless you have to because you worked all night. But anyhow, you can get up. I know Prabhupada always encouraged us at least by 4 o'clock, trying to go to bed by 10. But anyhow, as soon as we can. And if we can't wake up so early, we should at least very honestly and sincerely say, I'm really sorry, But then we should think that there's Nishant Leela somewhere in the universe. So we can still think about Nishant Leela. And we can still do our Mangal Arti. Because this is part of the process. This is Harinam Sankirtan too. We sing to Sri Guru, Sam Saradava Nadalila Loka. Then we sing to Radha and Krishna, Mangala Shri Guru Gora. We have Mangalarti. This is part of the process given by Mahaprabhu. They had Mangalarti. Everyone should have Mangalarti. Worship Tulsi Devi. He worshipped Tulsi Devi until he was in too much bhav, like this. In the Gambhir, I don't think he was. But in Navadvip, he was doing puja like this until he became too. Ordering Mahaprasadam, going out in Harinam Sankirtan all over Navadvip, like this. Okay. Vanchakalpatarubhascha kripa sindhu vivata patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha.
Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Sivasadi Gaura Bhatta Vrinda Jaya
Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Sivasadi Gaura Bhatta Vrinda.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Jaya Gurudeva, Jaya Gurudeva, Jaya Gurudeva,
Jaya Gurudeva, Jaya Gurudeva, Gurudeva, Jaya Gurudeva.
Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada,
Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada.
Jaya Gandharvika Giridhari, Gandharvika Giridhari Radhe.
Gandharvika Giridhari, Gandharvika Giridhari Radhe.
Jaya Radha Raman, Jaya Radha Raman, Radha Raman, Jaya Radha Raman.
Jaya 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 Govardhana Giriraja Jaya Govardhana.
Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaura Hari Bol.
Nitai Gaur Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaur Hari Bol. Jai Shri Shri Guru Gauranga Gandharva Ki Giri Radhika Raman Giriju Ki Jai Ho.